Have you ever felt completely forgotten? Like you've done everything right, but somehow you've ended up in the worst possible situation and no one seems to remember you're even there. If so, you're going to want to hear the incredible story of a man named Joseph. Imagine this. Joseph was a good man. He was faithful. He worked hard. He had integrity. Yet he was betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, and then, after being falsely accused, thrown into a dark, cold prison. He was completely innocent, but his reality was chains and stone walls. It's a place where hope goes to die. But Joseph's spirit wasn't broken. Even in prison, he continued to serve. He noticed two of Pharaoh's officials, the chief cupbearer and the chief baker, looked troubled. They'd had strange dreams and had no idea what they meant. Joseph, relying on his faith in God, stepped in to help. He told them, "Do not interpretations belong to God? Tell me your dreams." He listened carefully and, with divine insight, explained their dreams. To the cupbearer, he predicted freedom and restoration to his position. To the baker, he predicted a grim fate. And everything happened exactly as Joseph had said. As the cupbearer was about to be released, Joseph made one simple, heartfelt request. He said, "When all goes well with you, remember me and show me kindness. Mention me to Pharaoh and get me out of this prison." He wasn't asking for much, just to be remembered. But what happened? The cupbearer, once he was back in the comfort of the palace, enjoying his old life, completely forgot about Joseph. He forgot the man who had given him hope in his darkest hour, and Joseph remained in that prison. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into 2 long, silent years. Can you imagine the despair? 2 years is a long time to wait. Each sunrise might have brought a flicker of hope that this would be the day, only to be extinguished by sunset. It would have been so easy for Joseph to become bitter, to curse the cupbearer, to give up on God. He must have felt abandoned, forsaken, and utterly forgotten by everyone. This is a feeling many of us can relate to, that feeling of being stuck, of your prayers going unanswered, of your efforts going unnoticed. You're doing your best, but the breakthrough just isn't coming. Then, one night, everything changed. Pharaoh, the most powerful man in the world, had 2 deeply disturbing dreams. He dreamed of 7 fat, healthy cows being devoured by 7 gaunt, ugly cows. Then he dreamed of 7 full heads of grain being swallowed up by 7 thin, blighted heads of grain. He woke up terrified, his spirit troubled. He called for all the magicians and wise men of Egypt, but no one could interpret the dreams. The entire palace was in chaos. It was in that moment of crisis that the cupbearer's memory was finally jolted. He suddenly remembered the man in the prison. He told Pharaoh, "Today I remember my failings. When I was in prison, a young Hebrew man interpreted my dream, and it happened just as he said. Immediately, Pharaoh sent for Joseph. They rushed him out of the dungeon. He shaved and changed his clothes, and in a single moment he went from a forgotten prisoner to standing before the king. Pharaoh told him the dreams, and Joseph, with humility, said, "I cannot do it." But God will give Pharaoh the answer he desires. With wisdom given by God, Joseph explained that the dreams were a warning. There would be 7 years of incredible abundance in Egypt, followed by 7 years of devastating famine. But he didn't stop there. He laid out a detailed plan for Pharaoh, appoint a wise and discerning man to collect and store food during the good years to save the nation during the bad years. Pharaoh and his officials were amazed. Pharaoh looked at Joseph and said, "Can we find anyone like this man, one in whom is the Spirit of God?" And in that very same day, Joseph, the forgotten prisoner, was made the second most powerful ruler in all of Egypt. He went from the pit to the palace in a matter of hours. What's the lesson for us here? It's profound. God's timing is perfect. While Joseph felt forgotten, God was preparing him. Those years in prison weren't wasted time, they were training time. He was learning humility, patience, and unwavering reliance on God. What looked like a delay was actually divine development. Maybe you feel like you're in a prison of your own right now. A prison of waiting, of disappointment, of feeling unseen and unheard. You've been praying, you've been faithful, but the doors aren't opening. Remember Joseph. People may forget you, but God never does. Your current situation is not your final destination. He sees you, he remembers you, and he is working behind the scenes. What feels like a delay might just be God preparing you for the palace he has planned for you. Don't lose hope. Your moment is coming. Thanks for watching. If this story encouraged you, please like and subscribe for more content that builds your faith. See you next time.